Diablo Volpir, a long-sealed black magician, has been resurrected as Jamie Welton. When he was sealed, he vowed to exact retribution on the 12 gods. He was reborn into a peaceful noble family, complete with his adoring parents, Seers and Argino, and his younger sister Sarah. Jamie is not used to the family's constant affection. He is fortunate to have been born into this family, yet he is weak right now. He must get revenge on the 12 gods, now that he has been revived. He knows that time is on his side. He pledges to become stronger, but his nanny interrupts his moment. He has no choice but to act bravely in front of them. Sears praises him for defeating his magic professors and informs him that a new teacher will come. Later that day, Jamie encounters an elderly man in the corridor who is leaking massive amounts of mana. The old man recognizes Jamie's potential. Jamie feels threatened. Then the old man puts him to the test. Jamie becomes enraged. Jamie initiates an attack, but the old man defends himself and is impressed. The old man comes after Jamie, but Jamie doesn't even flinch. Argino appears and negates the spell. Jamie pretends to be terrified in front of him, and Argino becomes enraged at the old man. But the elderly man simply laughs it off. The old man is Marcus Lindmull, a well-known living 8th class magician. He mentions Jamie's talent and believes that he is a genius who does not require teaching. Argino is anxious that Jamie will become a 9th class magician. That night, Jamie was thrilled to witness the Marcus's magic and his father's in action. Jamie screams as Marcus Lindmull suddenly appears in his bedroom. He passes Jamie a magic tome and tells him that the magic Jamie used that morning was old. Marcus Lindmull expresses his high hopes for Jamie and teleports away. Jamie examines the tome right away and is amazed by the Marcus's writings, particularly on mana breathing. He summons his familiar, Black, and requests that it disperse some mana. Jamie begins to absorb the mana. He can become considerably stronger with this method. The next day, Argino worries as he sees Jamie surrounded by tremendous mana. He orders the servant to look over him. He is disappointed with the fact that Jamie is a magician prospect rather than a swordsman, but he has high hopes for his son. Jamie finishes meditating, and his mana has advanced to 4th class. Black is concerned, but Jamie tells him that he will not lose this time. He gives Black invisibility, and he will meet Argino. Argino talks with a Janus religious leader. When the representative walked away, Jamie recognized his emblem. Jamie curses Janus and cannot believe Argino allows them to settle on their land. When Jamie and Argino meet, the father is concerned about his son. Jamie expresses his desire to continue learning magic, and Argino is amazed by the mana that surrounds his entire body. But he realizes that mana can only be stored in the heart, and is suspicious of the Marcus's actions. Argino also senses Black, and they both panic. Feeling proud, Argino hugs him after learning that Jamie created Black. Jamie and Black headed out that night to investigate Janus. Jamie overhears Philip and Jans discussing human trafficking in the region. Jamie walks up to them. Jamie is attacked, and he quickly vanishes. He reappears and puts them down. Jamie becomes enraged when they reveal their evil dealings with him. He uses dark magic on them, forcing them to reveal everything about their plans to the Count. Jamie tries to return home, but Philip and Jans fly past him, wounded. He casts a spell on them, and the other man pulled the two away. Jamie becomes enraged, and Han Ni, an officer similar to Philip, attacks him with multiple magic shots. Jamie vanishes, then reappears behind him and belittles his mana. Han Ni uses fire magic to attack, but Jamie counters with enslavement magic. He then killed the remaining criminals and interrogated Han Ni. He had the same answers as Philip and Jans. He thought of converting Han Ni into an undead. After his dinner, he performed necromancy on Philip and Jans with the aid of Black. He brought their spirits back into their bodies. The bodies are emitting smoke, making them useless. Black becomes startled and consumes the smoke. Jamie renamed them Azard and Ryza. The magic is complete, and the two recover consciousness. The two shudder in fear upon seeing Jamie's terrifying aura. They mistook Jamie for a demon lord, but he corrects them and claims to be a dark magician instead. He orders them to keep an eye on the Janus Church and bring one member who is knowledgeable about human trafficking. Jamie walks home while Black criticizes him. Then a child runs into them. Black quickly transforms into Jamie's hair. The kid makes fun of his hair, and Black becomes upset. Jamie threatens the boy and he flees. They returned home, and Jamie decided to chase Janus out of their territory. Meanwhile, Azard and Ryza returned to their office in search of their boss, who knows everything. They left after receiving some hints. The next day, Jamie apologizes to Sears for worrying her with the full body mana breathing technique. Sears reveals that they will be attending a ball the following day. Jamie and Black go out that night to meet Azard and Ryza. They apologize for not being able to obtain any information regarding the Janus cult, but they did capture someone to interrogate. Jamie uses dark magic to command him to report their organization's wrongdoings. He tells the two to leave the city and go into hiding. As Jamie walks away, Ryza wonders what they are now, and Jamie replies that they are normal zombies. They became discouraged, but Jamie cheered them up by assuring them that they might become high-class zombies. That night, Argino gathers his forces to hunt down Livell, a large criminal organization. The next day, only Jamie, Sears, and Sarah leave to attend the ball. They arrive in the region on their way to meet Count Simon, a noble group leader similar to Argino, and a 7th-class wizard. They arrive at the Count's castle and are provided with lodging. Later, they all get dressed up and head to the ball. Jamie despises the crowds that gather around Seer. The ball is suddenly announced to begin, and Count Simon appears. The Count approaches the Weltons, and the children introduce themselves. Count Simon observes Jamie, and Jamie shows him what he's got. He tells Jamie that he will see him later. Ulf, one of Count Simon's sons, intends to humiliate Jamie so that his father will recognize him. Jamie was given some free time, so he went outside for a walk. Someone immediately approaches him and he pulls out his magic blade. The girl complains about being attacked and about Jamie being disrespectful to a lady. Jamie asks her about her name, and she teases him, but Jamie fires magic to the ground. She presents herself as Ash Bale, a spirit magician. Jamie can't believe she's one, despite her young age. He believes she has potential, and with enough training, she can enter into a contract with a spirit king. Jamie introduces himself, and Ash recalls that the Bales are Welton's subordinates. Meanwhile, Argino purges the human trafficking organization, while a suspicious person watches and is dismayed by Livell's failure. Back at the ball, Jamie is concerned by Ash's presence. He argues that she is not his servant and is not like their fathers. She declares that all she wants is to be friends. Jamie declines and leaves her alone. Ulf and his supporters later confront Jamie. The followers began yelling at him, and he silenced them, frightening Ulf. Ulf claims to want to talk to Jamie, but he is uninterested. Ulf tries to use their father's friendship as a reason, and Jamie realizes Ulf's real intentions. Jamie, though, rejects him. Ulf asserts that he can trample on Jamie's magic and attempts to provoke a fight. Jamie cautions him that the adults will not leave him alone. Ulf creates a barrier using an artifact, and the three gang up on Jamie. Jamie inflicts pain on them using dark magic. Later, the three are beaten, and Ulf learns he underestimated Jamie. He swears to get his revenge on Jamie. Later that day, Ulf and his followers are looking for Jamie, when Lennon, Count Simon's second son, offers help in taking revenge on him. That night, Argino shows up at Count Simon's mansion. They stepped inside, and Count Simon praised Jamie for his talent. Count Simon understands why Marcus Lindmal refused to be Jamie's teacher, because Jamie is a prodigy who is beyond comprehension. Count Simon wants Jamie to succeed as a magician. Argino is concerned, but Count Simon insists that they need a 9th-class magician to fight the unknown forces threatening humanity. The next morning, Jamie runs into Ash again. Jamie tells her to leave, but she introduces Rebecca, the Ballet family's eldest daughter. Jamie is shocked to see the spitting image of Jane, the woman he once loved. Just then, Ulf arrives with a menacing expression. Ash assumed they fell in love at first sight because they were staring at each other hard. Ulf attacks them with an artifact, but Jamie simply disintegrates the 6th-class magic. Jamie fires magic with the intent of killing Ulf. Ulf's body freezes, and he screams. Argino shows up and stops Jamie. After seeing the Ballet sisters fine, Jamie falls unconscious. Count Simon is amazed by Jamie's ability to dispel the magic. Count Simon's wife begs for his rescue. Sears steps in to explain what happened. Sears loses it, and the Count's wife is speechless. She expected Count Simon to defend her and Ulf, but instead, he apologized to the Weltons. Count Simon immediately calls an end to the ball. That night, the Count reprimanded Ulf. Lennon is also scolded for manipulating Ulf. Count Simon claims that despite being his sons, they do not interest him. They lack talent and he is aware of their thoughts. He challenges them to prove their worth as part of his bloodline. He also orders them to continue apologizing to Jamie until he forgives them. That night, Jamie was relieved that Jane had been reborn, but she lacked her memories. He believes this is a prank, and it could be the 12 gods doing. Remembering what happened to Jane, he decides to meet Rebecca once more. The same night, a magician spread words about Jamie and his promising talent in magic. The next day, Jamie went for a stroll, and he sensed spirit magic and encounters an undine summoned by Rebecca. They start introducing each other, and Jamie remembers Jane being a water elementalist too. Rebecca notices his sad expression. He embraced Jamie, thinking he was still shaken by the events of the previous day. The two sit down for a friendly conversation. Jamie discusses the Bally family's contract with wind spirits, but Rebecca is not able to do so, which is why she established a contract with a water spirit instead. Jamie believes the Elemental King can assist. Jane made a deal with the Elemental King, so it should be aware of her reincarnation. Jamie urges Rebecca not to worry and instead to think of herself as someone special. Jamie leaves and Rebecca wishes to talk to him more. Jamie returns to the mansion and Alf and Lennon appear to apologize. Jamie notices Lennon's mana. Lennon apologizes, but Jamie is enraged. He knows Lennon is the person responsible for yesterday's incident. Jamie punished him by making him see an illusion. Lennon realizes he will not win and kneels to apologize. The Weltons prepare to go home, and Count Simon speaks to Jamie. He informs Jamie that the magical world has begun to take notice of him, as Jamie had predicted. Jamie requests that the Count train Lennon because he is talented, but the Count disagrees. Jamie believes that Lennon has great potential, and Count Simon observes Jamie's striking likeness to a great magician. Jamie departs, and the Count regrets the fact that they didn't get to converse more. Months later, Jamie meets up with Azard and Riza. They reported numerous instances of the Janus Church conducting charitable acts. Following the demise of the criminal organization, the Janus Church began missionary activity to preach to the citizens, and many of them soon became devoted believers. They are now well respected, and Jamie was outraged. He says that the war and peace can't coexist in the first place. The two zombies disagree, but they agree that they are connected. Jamie thinks that's what the name Janus means. Jamie knows that they are up to something and orders the two to investigate. Meanwhile, Ricky, the youngster from the early chapters, is taken in by the Janus Church's orphanage, along with his blind sister Anna. Because of the kindness shown to him by the church, he aspires to be a priest. Just afterward, word spread that Shino, one of the disciples, had been chosen as a priest and had been taken to the mountains. Will Jamie be able to chase the Janus Church away? Like, subscribe, and comment down below if you would like to watch part 2. Thanks for watching, and see you on the next video.